Welcome traders, and welcome back to Stock Indices. My name is Kenneth Beard, and I run Stock Indices where I go over the overall market and the overall market's economic indicators and put that all together to make up an assumption on the market's future pricing, and basically just let you all pick my brain into what I believe is going to happen in the market in the upcoming days. So let's hop straight into this. Today is Wednesday, May 26th, and we don't have pretty much anything across the board for economic indicators in the U.S. In the U.S., besides the Fed's, a couple Fed speeches today, we got Fed Vice Chair Randall Quarles speaks, and he speaks at 10 a.m. and also at 3 p.m. So that's the only thing we have today going on with that. Other than that, we don't have anything listed for economic reports. Thursday we got some things going on here, but today not so much. So I'm gonna leave that out of the equation here. We're gonna hop straight into the charts, all technical analysis here. Looking at the ES right now, ES is, like I said, we broke out a couple days ago. Right now we're pulling back. Seeing some overhead resistance, and we're pulling back, going to a lower time frame here. You can see that as we're pulling back here, we're gonna kind of base here off that 4180. Looks like it is bouncing just a bit on this 4-hour chart. Maybe go to the 30 and see it a little bit better. So you can see, yeah, it's kind of reacting off of this level. So I want to keep an eye out on that and see if maybe we can see some further gains to the upside for the ES, as far as it coming down to some previous resistance, which could now mean for support for the ES, and future gains may be back to all-time highs for our S&P 500 here. Going into the Russell 2000, these E-mini futures for the small caps here, still consolidating here, still going to the side, not really doing much, not seeing any gains, not seeing any losses. Just in conjunction with these moving averages, you can see whenever the moving averages are moving sideways, that means that we're in sort of a stalling period where the market isn't going anywhere. So that's what we're kind of seeing here. Matter of fact, that is what we're seeing here, not kind of, it's what we're seeing. So until the market can make an extra push higher and get above these moving average and above these resistance levels, where you have to see any higher highs and any trend, any real strong trend for the Russell 2000. Checking out this Bitcoin here. Bitcoin, a fan favorite of many people, coming down to a level of support. We bounced pretty nicely for Bitcoin, and as we bounce for Bitcoin, we've been holding up, looking like Bitcoin wants to try to make a move higher to the upside here, but we've got to wait to see if it can reclaim some of those simple moving averages and really show us some strength to regain some of that confidence. But as of right now, Bitcoin is holding up and continue to move higher. We got some levels up here that may have to be taken out, that we may see 145,000. So keep that in mind when looking to get into a Bitcoin position. I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm not giving out any financial advice in any sort of type of way, but my assumption is that if Bitcoin is going to rally, we could potentially see some resistance right at this level right here. Right now, Bitcoin's looking strong. Bitcoin's looking like it's holding up pretty nicely. Also, we hit some over sold levels down here on the RSI, indicating us that Bitcoin took its drop, and maybe it's finished from here, and the sell off could, you know, be over, be done with. Looking at crude oil here, crude oil is still consolidating sideways in conjunction with these simple moving averages. Seeing some overhead resistance about right here for crude oil though, pulling back. So crude oil is stagnant, consolidating. You know, most of the markets are having some overhead resistance. So seeing kind of the same thing for crude oil. Want to see if maybe the 10 can hold it up. If the 10 can't hold it up, we would expect the 50 to hold that trend up and it to continue to consolidate sideways. If it gets below that 50 though, it would take, you know, some extreme decline prices in oil, for crude oil to get to those lower levels. So keeping an eye out on that for crude oil. Gold still looking strong. Gold making substantial gains from in the past couple of months now. Gold up over, let's see, gold is up over, you know, 14.6% from the lows. So with that being said, gold is seeing some substantial gains. Don't be surprised if a pullback happens anytime now. We're in the overbought area, so I would expect for, as soon as gold, you know, maybe gets to 1925 here, at these upper Fibonacci levels, once it gets into this range, I believe that if it does shoot into this range, that's when we'll see, you know, if we get in between this, you know, you see this 61 point, I can't really see it, 61 point, let's see, I'm trying to get a better look, 61.8 and the 50% level. I would think that it will pull back and maybe consolidate or even pull back, you know, even further back down. 50 is really far away here, so that's concerning. But you know, since the 50 is so far away, that's showing us that this market is, you know, having an exponential growth, and so the 50 is not even keeping up in conjunction with this past price action. So gotta keep that in mind. Not a good time to really dump any money into gold, as the rally has already happened, and the probability of gains continuing to shoot up like this is not very probable. I would wait for a large pullback or consolidation of some sort to allocate money into this asset. So that is for gold. ZB bonds here, treasury notes, looking like borrowing power is holding up pretty nicely here on bonds. So bonds are starting to push up higher, back above the 10 and above the 50. Seeing a little bit of drop off right now though, right into these moving averages, but still, you know, from the lows, just gradually moving up higher for bonds. So, you know, we got a level here, you know, the level that it gapped down is the level that I'm watching right now. It is at some resistance though for bonds. So once bonds do get above those levels, we have another level up top, and if it does get above those levels, that would look very strong for the bond market. Going to the mini Dow Jones Industrial Futures here. So seeing some resistance, some mini, I call this the miniature resistance, because we got our major highs up here at 35,000, but we got these highs here, which are resistance. Yesterday we had a red day. I believe that this overhead resistance could soon be taken out. Looks like some relative strength coming in here as we're seeing some green. Could it break out today? I don't know. Waiting for that. It got on the 4 hour. Actually, that's the 1 hour. But on the 4 hour here, still looking a little bit weak, but it is holding up. If it bounces off this 50, it could have enough strength to get above that resistance level here. But it is acknowledging that overhead resistance right there on the Dow Jones So that's all we're waiting for on that one. As soon as it gets above there, we then gotta, I'm thinking that we may get a breakout and a retest and a follow through to the highs for the Dow Jones before seeing, it reclaim its strength and its trend. So next one we got is the Qs here. So the Qs, you can see here it was a gap down. When it gapped down, we were seeing, obviously here, right here, support, gap down, resistance, the breaking out, getting back above here for the NASDAQ here. So NASDAQ slowly climbing higher and got some resistance up ahead. But, on the overall spectrum of it, the NASDAQ is looking a bit crazy, right? But, as it starts to reclaim, I think that it won't take long for the NASDAQ to eventually get back to all-time highs and continue to make progressions along with the other indexes. So that's for the Qs. Where's it at? I'm looking for my next one. There we go. Looking at VIX, this volatility index here. So below the $19 mark, we're sitting at $18.79. So yesterday we saw a little green here, right here. So right now it looks like volatility is dying down a bit. So I want to watch that. Right now it's pretty early right now in the markets. Hasn't even been a full hour yet. But if I come back, I'm going to come back later. If the market is still, if volatility is still looking weak and it's still selling off, well, I may sell some puts of the market here and adjust myself that way. Because like I said, when the volatility index sells off, the market usually is seeing bullishness. So that's all the indexes that I will be going over today. But as far as sector rotation goes here, yesterday, I forgot which sectors were leading, but I know today we're seeing some nice gains in XLY. XLY is looking pretty strong today, which is consumer discretionary. So consumer discretionary getting pretty pumped up here. We can see it's making new gains. In the contrary from yesterday. So for whatever reason, seeing some gains for consumer discretionary. Why is that such a hard word for me to say? Consumer discretionary. And also XLC, this sector, communication, seeing some gains as well today. Almost at the highs here. So I want to watch out for that, for this sector. So, and the sector that is lacking the most today is this XLV. They're really rotating the money out of this one. So, all natural, all normal here, sector rotation. So, healthcare sector is seeing a bit of a drag, but to me it looks like a normal uptrend as long as we don't take out those lows there. So healthcare being sucked out of and the money is being put into consumer discretionary and the communication services. XLRE, real estate, I believe, is still looking strong. So yeah, from those numbers yesterday with the home prices, still carrying on to the next day for these numbers as well. So just seeing a lot of strength in those three sectors, and then the weakness for the healthcare sector. And yeah, that's basically the full market breakdown for today. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Share this video. Leave a comment if you have any questions about any option type of videos, because I am an options trader. That's what I do. That's why I'm here to help you all. So if you have any questions with that and concerning to options, like I said, leave a comment, and I will see you all in the next one. Thanks for tuning in.